Hi folks, so this is the second video that I did that had audio challenges that I had to redo, and so just so that we are clear in terms of which video I'm redoing, which had audio challenges, that will be episode 161, where I was discussing that South Africa needs to urgently rebuild its pharmaceutical manufacturing base. And so basically what I intended to say in that video is that, having covered the various issues that needs to be done in order to create jobs in South Africa, and the actions that I listed in the prior videos, like rebuilding two nuclear power stations that will create more than 40,000 jobs collectively, to build a large a refinery in the northwest that will create 50 to 60,000 jobs, and the desalination plant that I suggested to be built in the Eastern Cape or KZN. And then I also discussed the issue of other things, infrastructure, in Johannesburg, especially railway infrastructure, expanding the Gautrain to Rustenburg and to Delmas and Witbank Mpumalanga. And then I also discussed the issue of water infrastructure, and road and bridges. And then I did say that will add 1% to the GDP growth, which will be a miracle from where South Africa is right now, and will create more than 135,000 jobs. And then I went into the issue of fiscal policy, which is the video that comes before this one, which will also add another 100,000 jobs and another maybe 1.1 something percent, 1.5% GDP growth. And then I said that collectively, all of those things might actually, if they've been all been done, will end up with an economic growth of around 4%. But then I did mention that that is not even close to being enough. We need more growth and more jobs. And some of the things that when you are looking to create jobs, you need to look at the things that are easiest to do but create high paying job. And in South Africa, one place to start would be rebuilding the pharmaceutical industrial base that South Africa used to have. Which is why I'm saying rebuilding, because we used to have this capacity. And there are three sectors that fall under pharmaceutical manufacturing sector. And I said that all three of those would have to be in South Africa. And then I did say that you'll have to look at the drugs that are consumed the most in South Africa, which makes it very easy to get a ready available consumer base for those drugs. That includes manufacturing locally antiretroviral drugs, which millions of South Africans are taking every day, and millions of other people around Zimbabwe, Mozambique, Swaziland, Lesotho, Botswana, and then also producing drugs like um, um, what do you call it, depression medicine, um, antidepressants, which millions of South Africans take every day, and then also producing stuff like insulin, which millions of South Africans have to take every day because they have diabetes. So those are the drugs which, that is economic activity that we are losing because we are not producing these things, and we have capacity to produce these things, and we already have the skills that are needed for producing these things, which will often be biochemists, normal chemists, general chemists, biologists, chemical engineers, mechanical engineers, electronic engineers, and then we might also have to focus on the more high level advanced manufacturing skills, which we do have that know-how, especially being produced in places like University of the Witwatersrand and University of Pretoria. And then so the three sectors of pharmaceutical manufacturing, I did say that the first one is the manufacturing of precursor chemicals. Those are the large bulk chemicals which are often in liquid, which are the first step of producing any high level drug of any kind. And then number two, the second step would be the manufacturing of advanced pharmaceutical ingredients. So normally you produce precursor chemicals, which are then used to produce advanced pharmaceutical ingredients. And then the advanced pharmaceutical ingredients are used to produce the finished medicines like liquids, tablets, and capsules. So those are three different sectors within the same sector. And then so I said that so in order for us to rebuild this sector, we might have to do it stepwise and in a process where we're saying, okay, in the next 5 years, 50% of all these drugs, including painkillers, oncology drugs, and all of the drugs that have widespread use in the private sector and public sector in South Africa, would have to be produced in South Africa. So if we say that 50% of, say we give a list of 10 drugs and medicines, and we say they must be produced in South Africa. If we say 50% of those in the next 5 years must be produced in South Africa, and then we say in the next 3 years, and then we say which we actually right now have the capacity to do that, and then we say then after that in the next 5 years, 50% the prior step to that must also be manufactured in South Africa, which is to say advanced advanced pharmaceutical ingredients, 50% of them also leading to these 10 drugs that maybe we have selected must be also be produced in South Africa. And then further on, then we say 10 years from now, 50% of the precursor chemicals must also be manufactured in South Africa. Then you have a situation where you're saying that 10 years from now, 50% of precursor chemicals are manufactured in South Africa. 50% of advanced pharmaceutical ingredients are manufactured in South Africa. 50% of the finished medicines and drugs are manufactured in South Africa. That, ladies and gentlemen, could create up to 5,000 to 5,000 to 8,000 jobs, with an incremental increase in terms of ideally having more than 65% of these drugs and their precursors and the ingredients being manufactured in South Africa. That is what this episode, which had audio problems, episode 161, had was addressing. And then I had to also state that nothing in this world happened by accident. If you want something, you need to go get it. You need to go get it. That is one thing that we have learned from the Chinese. That if you want something, you need to go get it. You need to have a single mind, single focus, single intention that we want this, we are going to get it. We are not accepting any excuses. We are not accepting any ifs and buts. We have an aim and a goal. We are going for it. That would be one of the easiest things to do, because then what will tend to have a knock-on effect is then to see more money going into R&D, pharmaceutical R&D in South Africa, which is already happening, but not happening at the rate that it should. And also, what's more important about the issue of manufacturing the drugs that you need, it is a national security issue. You cannot, as a nation, depend on other nations for things that are as critical and as life critical as life saving drugs and therapeutics. You can't do that. You can't do that. And even though in the pharmaceutical space there are like 3 or 4 major companies that manufacture almost everything that we use, all you need to do is to just write an executive order and a law that says if you want to sell your drugs in South Africa, 50% of the drugs that you sell in South Africa must be produced locally. companies, and as long as you are creating an enabling environment for them to be able to do that, they will do it. That's exactly what they are doing in China, India, Japan, Singapore, Vietnam, South Korea, and the rest of these other Asian nations which are wiping the floor with the rest of us. You just have to tell them that if you want to access this market to sell your drugs, whether it's insulin, whether it's antiretrovirals, whether it's um, antidepressants, whether it's medicines like painkillers like Panado or whatever kind of painkillers, over the counter painkillers, if you want to sell them in South Africa, 50% of them, the entire value chain must be in South Africa. 50% of them. The precursor manufacturing, the ingredients manufacturing, advanced pharmaceutical ingredients manufacturing, and the finished product, capsules, tablets, and liquids. Let me know what do you think about that. Cheers. See you on the next one.